Well, thank you so much for joining live stream today. Today is Thursday, as usual, 5 p.m. Central Time. It appears that there was some issue with TikTok live scheduling, but even if you don't see this schedule previously or prior to this live stream, a lot of you joining from Instagram, you know that unless I'm out of office, then I will be doing this. But sorry that I there's some issue with scheduling with a TikTok, but thank you so much for joining from TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. All of you will be able to post the questions or comments, and then I'll try to answer today. And then also you can watch this one later. I mean, you can watch it live, Facebook, LinkedIn, but you're not able to post any questions. So I'm Attorney Jae Francis. I'm a U.S. immigration lawyer based in Chicago, but serving all 50 states. So today, our topic is marriage green card case. So I'm gonna start with some updates, and then I will be answering any questions that you will be posting today. So I'm gonna start with this processing time updates, which is relatively good. For those of you who apply for marriage green card case in January and February of this year, January and February, and then you receive online notification that interview has been scheduled, then you probably have some mixed feeling. um, I don't close case. Okay. Vic um, post the question. So you have some mixed feelings. um, it's good that they schedule interview, right? So you submit your case in January and February of this year, and then they schedule interview for you in April and May. It means that you don't need to wait. You like it, right? You love it. So that's the positive feeling. But the different sort of response would be, I'll get back to Anna. You're a little bit concerned, disappointed that they scheduled interview for you. If you talk to your friends and family in the past, that USCIS, up until recently, didn't schedule interview for most cases. So you're kind of disappointed. Like, should I be worried that they scheduled interview for you, and then is there something wrong with my case? And then the third feeling would be, some of you may panic because you're hearing about this ICE agent knocking on the door and then arrest you during your interview. So does it mean that they're gonna arrest me because they scheduled interview too fast? Well, I mean, the last one, right? Will ICE detain you during your interview? I wouldn't rule that out completely, but that's something that most of you need to worry. And then in terms of like they scheduled interview for me, I'm disappointed because my friends and family, got their green card without interview. I mean, should I be disappointed? Answer is not really, because looks like that's happening for almost all cases. So not just you, and then it's gonna be applicable to most people. Now I see a couple of comments from, I mean, not couple, many comments today. I'll circle back to you, okay? And then the first one is that it's good news, right? So what I noticed is that not just Wisconsin and with Illinois is a nationwide, like Florida, Texas, California, New York. They're scheduling interviews, and this is what I believe. Okay, I'm not USCIS, but I can be wrong. Since they're unofficially moved to, we're gonna schedule all cases, adjustment of the status for interview, they're not really taking extra time because they're gonna say, hey, interview, 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 interview. That's why they're fast. I can be wrong. But having said it, I have some the question from all of you. So I'm gonna start with the YouTube. Anna, I believe that she's our Anna client. So well, you got biometrics notice. Congratulations. So the next one would be work permit. And then work permit used to be 30 days. It means that you submit and usually you get work permit 30 days later. But we're talking 60 to 90 days. Our Ashtush is joining from our client from Instagram. He completed biometrics quite some time ago, 30 days ago, still waiting for work permit. I say this, work permit is a little bit case by case, but Ashutosh, so disappointing, but you shouldn't be concerned, okay? I mean, it's inconvenient, right? You like to get work permit, but just hang on. I'm sorry that it's a little bit taking long, okay? So I'll just get back to TikTok. Okay, Mario asks excellent question of the day. Do you think that we're gonna be okay with all these updates, case by case, right? So if you enter the U.S., right, with a visa, right, and overstay or not overstay, then still I believe that marriage green card cases, right, it's not really different than what they did under Biden, except it can be faster now or they schedule interview. But if you enter with CHNV parole, right, so from like Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and then Haiti, parole on the Biden, then the government terminated your parole, but because of the court action, is paused. So there's a like issue, but you'll be able to submit your application. Now, for those of you who enter with a CBP1 parole, right? So cross the border without the visa, not from parole program, then there was no legal update, but their government saying that we terminated the program and they were going to go after you. Also, alien registration, right? Started April 11, and then for those of you who doesn't have I-94, doesn't have a visa, right? Doesn't have a work permit, not with immigration court, so you need to register. And then your question is it safe? Will they knock on the door and detain me if I do this? So you need to choose, like a sort of less of evil, right? If you fail to register alien with alien registration, there's a monetary pain. Sorry. I said monetary pain. Sorry, it's been a long day. Monetary fine and then jail time, right? But if you register, then they may go after you. But think about this. You file I-130, so we're talking mostly those of you who file I-130 or I-130 approved and pending 601A or 601A approved, and then you're about to start consular process. You need to register with alien registration. So we're concerned with this type of clients. But having said it, I'm gonna look at the TikTok. I see many questions populating here. So those of you who joined this live for the first time, I have 3 different screens. I have a TikTok on the left side, iPad, and I look at computer screen for YouTube, and I use smartphone for Instagram. So when I navigate the question for TikTok viewers, I need to use the fingers, okay? So I'm not channel surfing, okay? I'm not watching Netflix on the side. I'm just reviewing TikTok questions. So let me see. Okay. Yes. NATO City, probably not a proper pronunciation. What is a petty offense, exception to criminal record for citizenship? If you need an attorney, you need to contact us. That's something that I'm not able to tell you via this type of live stream. Okay. And then, Sugar said that your case was approved today after interview yesterday. So congratulations. Just, if you are available, let us know when you submit it and then where you live. Okay, I'm just curious, but congratulations. In terms of approval of marriage green card case, right? You submit I-130 and 45. There's a variation. Usually, the best case scenario would be they approve same day or next day, right? And then they approve I-130 and 45 at the same time. But sometimes they approve I-130 first. It means that they believe that you have a bona fide relationship, and then take some time for them to review 45. So that's possibility. But the congratulations. Yeah, so then Irene said that you completed biometrics in March and you're still waiting. Yeah, so some of you you don't get work permit right away. It's case by case. Sometime um it's kind of hard to tell whether there's any patterns, but we see that work permit takes longer after completing biometrics. In uh, in 2024, when everything was fantastic, our clients completed biometrics and then got work permit same day. Let me drink some water. Okay. Yeah. So then, uh, Judy, I think that you're friend of our client Wilson. Okay. I can be wrong. So they're from Ukraine, Uniting for Ukraine program, and then government stopped the program but didn't terminate it. And then what's your option? What's your option? It's so challenging, right? It's so challenging because they may terminate Uniting for Ukraine program anytime soon. But right now, CBP1 parole terminated, CHND parole terminated, right? So two types. There's more, like for Afghanistan's, Ukraine. There's more, but we'll see what the government will do about those type of parole programs. Okay. Yeah. So then, Mario, yeah. So you have a J1 and subject to 212E previously. He's from Dominican Republic. So for those of you who enter the U.S. with J1 visa, some of you are subject to 2-year home return requirement. And then thanks to Biden, December 2024, removed 30 plus countries, including Dominican Republic, from this J1 visa. But only applicable to those of you who enter the U.S. with a J1 visa, skill list J1. But if you got government funding, then you're still subject to 212E. And then Mario said that he got work permit. So good for you. Good for you. Now, Jesus is the Lord. Okay. Okay. So then, spouse is a U.S. citizen, and then he's in UK. And then how long does it take for I-130 to be approved? So this is spouse visa, right? Spouse visa, you start with the I-130, and when it's approved, then it goes to National Visa Center. So he's talking about how long I-130 takes. Right now, it's not fast. We're talking about like 1 year and 18 months. So let's do processing time update. So marriage green card case, 2 or 3 months. You submit, and then less than 3 months, they'll schedule interview for you. In most cases, 3 months, right? 129F, usually right now 5 months. 129F for the K1, 5 months. And then 130 for spouse visa. The spouse is living overseas, between 1 year and up to 18 months. It's kind of slow. Now, Laureen from YouTube asked, so you got request for evidence. We call it RP4864. You type up 684, but I'm sure that you mix up the letter. Affidavit of support. You got RP. December of 2024. You said that my case. Sorry, it's been a long day. It's just like babbling here. My case, when that, what can I do? It means that you're not getting any response. Is that what it is? Did you submit your response? You have 87 days to do so. So when you submit a response to request for evidence, then they don't say that, well, we approve your request for evidence response. Next step would be, in most cases, right? In the case of adjustment of the status, approval of 485, interview schedule, or if you haven't received work permit, you will get work permit. Okay, you will get work permit. Okay, let me see whether anything from Instagram. So I'm gonna go back to TikTok. Okay. TikTok scrolling is sometimes it can be challenging, because once I scroll and then it just like jumps into different section. Okay. Now, so Jelaya, so that you got withholding of removal. So then, for those of you who have a case with immigration court, one option is asylum. But usually, if you file more than 1 year, right, after your U.S. entry, then you can ask for withholding or removal. So those of you who followed the news, right, the Mr. Garcia from Maryland, that who was picked up and placed into El Salvador, his withholding of removal was granted. It means that like he's not able to remove to El Salvador because he's from El Salvador. So the withholding of removal means that you're not supposed to be sent back to your country. But the government saying that El Salvador is better now than when his withholding of removal was granted. But it's just like they didn't follow the rule. So going back to your question here, your withholding of removal was granted, but you have a criminal record, and then is it like a misdemeanor, felony? What type of criminal records? And then are you getting married to U.S. citizen or got married to U.S. citizen? I mean, a lot of information I need from you. So if you're looking for attorney, just let us know, call us. So let's do like a usual comment. So if you are joining from YouTube, you find phone number easily on the screen. But if you're joining from TikTok, Instagram, I'm not able to say the phone number during the live. Or so then you need to go to my profile and find Dr. Jae Francis Immigration, and there's a phone number. You can find this. You can call us if you need an attorney. Okay, so let me see. I can scroll this easily. Yeah. So then Irene, um, so she's asking, possible question, right? So possibility. So her question is that because cases go fast, is there a possibility that she go for interview before she get work permit? Possibility. So remember, those of you who join now, I explained that the cases we filed in January and February of this year being scheduled for interview in April and May. And then we also noticed that it takes longer for our clients to get work permit after completing biometrics. So then, is there a possibility that you go for interview, but you still don't have a work permit? Answer is yes. That's strong possibility. Also, I made a videos and explained multiple times that even though when you apply for 765, employment authorization document application, there's a section that you apply for Social Security through that application. You may still assume that Social Security will mail Social Security card to you after USCIS approve your work permit. Answer is not really. So what that means is that when your work permit is approved, then you need to go to local Social Security office and then apply for Social Security card. By the way, we have a delivery coming, not for me. I'm not living anywhere, but there might be some conversation in the background in terms of delivery. So sorry that I didn't close the door because I was hoping that our lovely Scottish fold Rosie, our cat, comes to this live stream, but she decided not to do it. So my bad. There might be some noise, conversation in the background. So it's my bad. So Fatu asks, can he go overseas with a 751? Now, so this is what I tell our clients. And Fatu, I'm not your attorney, so don't quote on me, okay? If you're conditional residence, and when you go overseas, we tell our clients that it's okay for you to go overseas yourself, but when you come back, try to come back with your U.S. citizen spouse because that's the usual concern, unless you have a criminal records. If you have a criminal records, then you don't go overseas at all, right? But if you don't have a criminal records, but you only have a conditional residency, it means that by the time the USCIS approve your case, you're married less than 2 years, then you only have a 2 year instead of 10 year. Then when you go overseas and then try to come back yourself, CBP may ask, like, where's your spouse? especially if you enter the US with a visa and overstay many years, and then you got permanent residency and you're excited and you miss your families and friends in your home country, and then that's like first action that you take. And then when you go to your home country, spend like a couple of months and try to come back yourself, and then you could be stopped at the airport by CBP and ask what's going on here, right? So perhaps good idea for you to ask your U.S. citizen spouse if you're not returning together. Stand by, because CBP may call your spouse and then talk to your spouse. Like, for example, are you still married, right? So it's just in a difficult time. Okay. Yeah. So then, Mario, can you talk about J1 skills list? So there is a three types of J1, but I'm gonna make it simple. So there's two types of J1 if you're subject to 212E requirement. Now, one is you got money from the government. It can be United States, it can be your home country. You're from Dominican Republic, right? So it can be from your home country or US. The second one is that you didn't get money from the government, but you're on skills list. It means that you're learning something that is valuable for your country, Dominican Republic, right? So if you enter the country with a J1 with this skills list 212E restriction, then it's gone December 2024. So, you know, if you need an attorney, we would be happy to help you with your adjustment of the status. But if you'd like to confirm whether you're not subject to it or not, then it'll be paid consultation. So to call us and then we'll schedule paid consultation with me. Okay. Yeah. So then only do Boston ask question here. So after interview, 45 interview, how long does it take for USCIS to approve your case? So let me drink some water. Okay, I partially answered this. So one possibility is that they approve your case same day, next day, or it can be up to 1 week. But nothing happens, then you wait 2 weeks and 3 weeks and 4 weeks. Usually, if nothing happens after 30 days, then usually you end up waiting up to 120 days. Now, if you wait 120 days after your interview, then you may call USCIS and ask for status update, but they don't usually tell you what's going on. Now, under Biden, we file what they call APA mandamus lawsuit. It means that you're slow to review my case after interview. We're gonna sue you. We're gonna sue USCIS to compel them to take an action. But nowadays, under Biden, right, they settle. It means that they approve your case, right? But now they're fighting back. Like, you need to wait more. You'll be surprised that according to government processing time, they say that nothing's too late if you waited up to 2 years after interview. I meant it. They provided these numbers to us in previous mandamus lawsuit that according to our processing time, you may wait 2 years after interview, and that's not too delayed by the government. It's shocking, but it's when you sue the government, government will fight back nowadays. So it's a challenging. So Ashutosh, thank you so much for joining from Instagram. Okay, Shinda, any update on 751 cases? That's like quite generic question here. Like, have I noticed anything unusual in terms of processing time? Not really. So the 751 cases, if you file together, it takes between 18 and 22 months. 18 and 22 months, right? If you file individually, it takes more than 2 years because they schedule interview. Okay, they schedule interview. In terms of whether they will schedule interview for you or not, we don't have any confirmation about this yet. Okay. Yeah. So then Jose Ramirez asked, when the USCIS receive your 45, then how soon will they send you biometrics notice? So this is what happens when you submit your case. right? And then if you'll get written notices in 10 days of submission. Okay, I think that is getting out of control. So I'm gonna close the door. Sorry for interruption. I'll close the door. Sorry, I never done this, but our lovely Rosie, Scottish cat, was like, I was about to enter you, but why did you slam the door? Because my wife was talking to delivery person, and then it's noisy. So sorry. So I'm sorry. Excuse me, but I'm sorry. So I have to close the door. So now the 751, right? So then in terms of timeline, so I'm gonna talk about one more time. You submit everything, and then about 7 to 2 weeks later, you get written notices. If you have a My USCIS account, then you'll get online notice as well. Now, biometrics notice usually either come with the receipt notices or like within a week. So expect that your biometrics appointment will be between 30 and 60 days of your application. Now, the Kwon Day, joined this live from YouTube last week. He wants to talk to me in Korean. Yes, I'm bilingual. I speak Korean and English. I do Korean consultation in Korean, but it'll be paid consultation. So call the numbers, and then our team will schedule consultation with me. Okay, so yes, answer is yes. I do consultation in Korean. Okay, so let me see. Any update on I-130? So usually when you say updates, how long does it take? I explain. I-130 has a different processing time, right? So you file I-130 only because you're placed into removal proceeding. You file I-130 only because your spouse is overseas, right? So you file I-130 only because you need to go through 601A waiver. So, I mean, there's some difference in terms of how long it takes, but the spouse visa I-130, the CR1, is a little bit faster than others. I'll say 1 year, between 1 year and 18 months. 1 year and 18 months. Okay. Okay, so then Irene asked a lot of questions here. Okay, what about asylum? So, if you apply for asylum, you need to wait 5 months to apply for work permit. So you're not eligible to apply for work permit anytime sooner. So when you have a receipt notice for asylum, then you wait 5 months to apply for work permit. Okay. Yeah, so then I think that I jumped a little bit. Saba asked question, when K1 is approved, how long does it take to get NBC case number? Saba, did it take 5 months for you? Did your 129F go to California Service Center? Usually it takes at least 30 days for you to get National Visa Center case number. They either email to you, your fiance, or they mail it to you. Okay. Oh, Jose. So Jose Ramirez, that you submitted your AOS package quite some time ago, about approaching 2 weeks, 2 months. I'm sorry, you haven't received your biometrics appointment. Call USCIS. Call USCIS. Okay. Yeah, Miguel Angel asked question. I talked about this, but looks like you joined now. So 129F petition for K1, right? The starting point. We'll go to California Service Center, and then it takes about 5 months. 5 months minimum. Used to be less than 3 months. Like, once again, 2024 was fantastic for immigration cases. We have some cases approved in 30 days of filing 129F petition within 30 days. Like, I never seen anything like that. But it's like slow down to 2 months, 3 months, and then now 5 months. But it may take longer. During the COVID, 129F took more than 14, 16 months. I hope that it's not the case, or they don't come back. Okay, so Assad, I know that you asked the question, but I have a lot of the question from TikTok. Okay. So Assad, you ask whether you can join the Navy military on F1 status. That's something that I don't handle. So you need to call the Navy, right? U.S. Navy to ask whether you can actually join it. Yes, yes. Appalachian, nobody. I think that you joined this YouTube previously, and thank you so much for your compliment. I do my best. I try to relay valuable information. Okay, so let's do this. It's time to wrap it up. Today, not only Thursday, but NFL draft. Right, I'm a Buffalo Bill fans. I'm super excited about this draft, but I'm not prepared. I don't know who they're gonna pick, but Thursday, so I'll be watching. So next Thursday, we're going back to Trump immigration, and we're gonna talk about all the updates. Please join this live. Um, you know, Attorney Alicia is working with me, and then I have many team members. All of them speak Spanish except me, and then we are thinking about hosting Q&A session, but it's like members only or on subscription basis about alien registration process because it was announced and then became effective April 11, and you need to register if you need to register. Okay. So we're thinking about this. Maybe use the YouTube, TikTok. I haven't decided. I will keep you posted. But as usual, thank you so much for joining this live. I enjoy talking to you. I wish that I can talk to you more than 30 minutes. But I have a non-stop meetings, and this is maximum I can do. So thank you so much for joining from TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and then LinkedIn. Have a good day. Peace be with you. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.